Welcome, everyone, to lesson number 11 in the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind series. My name is Juan Garcia, and we're going to cover the subconscious mind here. In my opinion, this chapter is very, very powerful and very crucial. Again, just like the last one, if you know how to understand it, how to apply it, and how to successfully use it to your advantage. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the subconscious mind, the connecting link. I want you to take a look at this little graphic illustration here. So this is what I call the stick person, right? The top circle represents the mind and the little circle represents the body. Now we may have multiple parts to our mind, right? But specifically in the area of success, I want to focus on two very specific ones. The first one is our conscious mind, and then the second is our subconscious mind. So number one, the conscious mind is our intellectual mind. This is the part of our mind where we think, we reason, we store information that we've learned in school, etc. Right? And then we have our subconscious mind, which is our emotional mind. This is the part of our mind where we feel, right? This is the part of our mind where, we store trauma, where we store our habits, our behaviors, right? This is our active mind. So basically, anything that you're doing right or that you're doing wrong, you're basically programmed through your subconscious mind. So if you're making a lot of money right now, you're a successful person, it's because you were programmed in your subconscious mind to create these results. And if you're failing miserably in life right now, you're not creating the results you want. Maybe you're sick, maybe you're unhappy, you have bad luck, or you have bad luck in your love life. It's because also you've been programmed through your subconscious mind to create these results. So basically, our subconscious mind creates or is responsible for 90% of the results in our life. I might even go as far to say 95%, right? So if this part of our mind is responsible for so much of what happens to us, why don't people know about it and why don't people use it? It's a good question. So the subconscious mind is a connecting link through which idea are mixed with emotion. It only understands the language of feeling or emotion. So like I said earlier, right? This part of your mind is impacted through feeling and emotion. If you want to impact, or if you want to communicate or successfully plant an idea or a thought into this part of your mind, you have to mix a lot of feeling and emotion with it in order to successfully, penetrate that part of the mind. It works similarly as a filing cabinet for every sense impression or every thought, regardless if they are good or bad. So let me translate this like this. So basically, if you're holding an idea in your mind, say it's either something really, really good. Say you want to be a wealthy person and you feel wealthy and you can just feel it in your mind and you can just feel what it feels like, right? Chances are, if you do it often enough, that is going to happen. And let's say on the contrary, let's say if you're holding thoughts of fear, let's say you're fearful that you're going to catch a disease or an illness, right? If you're holding this fear is nothing but an emotion, right? You're holding this fear and you keep thinking about this thought often enough, again, you will manifest this result, because the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is being imagined, between what is good and what is bad, between something that's going to serve you or something that's going to destroy you. It doesn't know the difference and it doesn't care what the difference is, but it will happen according to the thoughts that you think and the feelings that are transmuted with it. So number 3, it acts on the most dominating desires with emotional feelings such as faith. So again, like I said, if you have a thought and you mix it with emotion, and if you do this often enough, you will ultimately impress that thought into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is mastered through habit and repetition, as I just mentioned, if you do it often enough. Imagination is a means by which you can successfully submit to the subconscious through faith plus plan or purpose. So the 7 major positive emotions are desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, hope. These are the 7 most powerful ones. Of course, there's a lot more, many more, right? But these are the 7 top most powerful ones. Now let's take a look at the most negative ones. So the most negative emotions to be avoided are fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. So before we move on to the next slide, I just want you to know there must be one dominating thought or dominating idea or consciousness in your subconscious mind. There is no neutral, right? You're either producing really good or really bad. So if one or the other has to dominate your subconscious mind, you want the positive to dominate, right? So you can manifest and attract positive results. Because if you focus on a negative, take a look at yourself here. Let's do a little self-analysis, right? Fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger, right? If you're holding any of these emotions, and if you're holding them often enough, and if you're aware that you're holding them, it's time to make a decision. It's time to make some changes. Specifically, if you're watching this video, I'm under the impression that you want to change your life, or you want to understand this book to change your life. And if we're going to do that, a big way of where to start is through impacting your subconscious mind with things that you want to experience. So one or the other must dominate. It is our responsibility to make sure positive emotions dominate us. And again, how do we do that? Through the habit, through the law of habit. Applying and using these positive emotions will eventually be so strongly fixed that the negatives can no longer enter it. So again, some idea or consciousness needs to dominate your subconscious mind. Is it good or is it bad? That is totally up to you. Only by following these instructions through continuous repetition can you gain full control over your subconscious mind. So what are some key points to know here? The most important parts that I want you to understand about this chapter. The subconscious mind speaks through the language of emotion and feeling. The subconscious mind can accept anything you give to it, both good or bad. So be careful what you keep thinking on a continuous basis. The dominating thought you carry mixed with emotions will become deposited in your subconscious mind through repetition of imagination. The subconscious mind is either dominated by a negative or a positive identity, which controls your results in life. One way of taking control of your subconscious mind is through the repetition of an emotionalized idea. Make sure you are made up of positive emotions and not the negative ones. You might want to write these down because these specific points here are very absolutely crucial. You know, I didn't understand this for so many years of my young adulthood, and it was absolutely messing me up. It was messing me up so bad that I didn't know that I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. And most importantly, if I didn't know, I absolutely wasn't going to fix it, right? So how can we apply this? Okay. Now we understand everything. We understand how the subconscious works. We understand what it is. And we understand, you know, the key points, but how do we apply it now into our life? So number one, make a conscious and deliberate decision that you will flood your subconscious mind with only positive emotions mentioned earlier, right? You want to take a look at that list of the 7 major positive emotions and make sure that your mind and your life is dominated by those 7. Number two, use your imagination and create an image or a movie of the one thing you desire most. Pay close attention to this one right here. This is very, very important. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Use your imagination and create an image or a movie of the one thing you desire most. Then play that clip in your mind as often as possible, 3 to 10 times a day, I recommend, as if you are already living it. Mix your emotions well enough when doing this and get excited about it. So basically, think about something that you desire most in life. It could be a goal, your dream, whatever. Think about it, but use your imagination to create a little, either like an image clip or like a little tiny movie, maybe 10 seconds or 30 seconds, right? And focus on this 3 to 10 times a day. And when you're visualizing this idea or this image, when you're visualizing this, I want you to become excited. I want you to get excited. I want you to tap into your emotions. Because if you can tap into your emotions while visualizing this through repetition, if you do it often enough, it has to happen in your life. It absolutely must happen in your life. Because if the subconscious mind is dominated through repetition of an idea, with emotion, I guarantee you it must happen. It must happen. And, there's a law of gender that says all seeds have a gestation and incubation period. It's predictable when a seed for any vegetable or fruit will start to take root, right? But a spiritual idea, basically our when we have an image, when we have an idea, that's a spiritual seed. No one knows how long that's going to take. Nobody knows the gestation period for a spiritual seed. So you just have to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And most importantly, never stop, because you might stop too soon. And that's when it all goes down. So never stop, okay? I recommend at least 90 days minimum. So do this first thing in the morning and the last thing before falling asleep. Because basically when you're in this sleepy state, you're in the theta state. And that basically means that you have easy access to your subconscious mind. Easy access to your subconscious mind without any conflict from your conscious mind. Because your subconscious mind does not have the ability to accept or reject. Your conscious mind does. And sometimes if they're both thinking opposite ideas, they're going to conflict. And that's what you don't want. So if you're doing this in a sleepy, drowsy state, this is the best time to do it. This is the best time to plant an idea into your subconscious mind when you're in this sleepy, drowsy state. Why do you think hypnosis works so powerfully, right? Because what the hypnotherapist does is puts you in a sleepy, drowsy state, the theta state. And he's just repeating an order or, something to your subconscious mind. He's impressing a thought or an idea into your subconscious mind. And it's so powerfully effective. And lastly is repetition. You must do this over and over until you are successful. So I hope this chapter really, really kind of woke you up or explained something to you, because if you remember clearly, we talked about earlier in this series, we talked about autosuggestion. And autosuggestion and the subconscious mind go hand in hand, because you're suggesting an idea automatically into your subconscious mind. It could be an affirmation, it could be a visualization, it could be writing your affirmations or listening to them. But at the end of the day, you're repeating them over and over and over and over again. Repetition is a mother of all skill. So if you have any questions whatsoever on this chapter or any of the previous ones we've might have covered, please leave a comment or send me a personal message. I always answer my messages. And take this chapter very, very seriously. Apply it, because this is, in my opinion, this is a very, very powerful one, because ultimately, whatever results you experience are because of the program that's lodged into your subconscious mind. So with that being said, one more time, I really appreciate your time, and I will see you guys on the next chapter.